About sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. Good morning. How is everyone?
Good, morning. Man.
Yeah. You alive down there?
I'm good.
Party animal.
Why is that mic so close to you, though?
I mean,
it's like you're sitting too close to a steering wheel. Like, back up, Grandma.
Have you driven alongside of people that are just like?
Yes.
I'm one of those people.
Are
considering
you? Yes.
I'm 5'1", so chill out.
Chill out. Look like you cuddling with the steering wheel.
Well, like I said, thank you for making us a part of your Saturday morning. We have a lot to cover this morning on today's show, but first we have a special guest joining us today, Justin Reid. Super Bowl, the champ is here. What's happening, man?
Here, man. Get to have that tag attached to my name for life.
Heck yeah.
Special feeling.
Heck yeah.
Excited to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on board.
So how is it now that you've won, had the parade, and now what's the past few weeks look like for you?
Man, I tell you what, the last week has been like an absolute movie. I mean, surreal moment. From the moment that the confetti started going on the field, like you watching around, it's like it didn't feel real at first. Then when you see Coach Reid and Pat and Trav on stage. They lift up the Lombardi Trophy. It started to feel a little bit more real at that point.
Yeah.
And then once we got to invite a couple people on the field, had my parents come on board.
Yeah.
And at that moment, it really started to sink in, man. And been partying ever since. Got to party in Arizona a little bit. Came back to Kansas City. The parade happened to fall on my birthday.
Yeah.
So got the double dip there. I don't know how I'm going to beat that one going forward. It's hard to beat a parade happening on your birthday.
Yeah.
And then I took some of the young guys to Vegas afterwards, just to cap off the celebration there.
Man, and this is your you just ended your 5th year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my 5th year going into 6.
5th year. Yeah, man. 5th year, new team. Spent most of your career down in Houston. What was that feeling like when you came to Kansas City? Did you have any kind of intuition that you guys were going to go and win the Super Bowl?
I mean, I knew that we always had a shot.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to go to a team that had a history of winning, had a winning program. I loved my time in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I got drafted there, had some family there. The first 2 years there went pretty well.
Right.
You know what I mean? The last 2 years didn't.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew after going through that, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's almost depressing because you go into a locker room knowing that you might win a game or two, but you don't really have a shot at the postseason, anything like that. And it's like, man, like I'm going into my prime years and I want to be a part of something special. I want to go somewhere where we could win, where we have a shot, where there's at least a belief to where I'm going to be having fun on the field again. So
Right.
Came over here, the organization we had here, playing with the Hall of Fame quarterback, Pat, that always gives you a chance. So came here, knew that it was special. Didn't matter all the noise that was coming outside the building talking about we weren't going to make the playoffs or anything. We just used it as fuel on the fire, and we came out on top of that when it was all said and done.
And I want to ask you about that too, because I mean, I'm there training camp, see the grind. And even before that, no Tyreek Hill, you know, new guys on the defense. You had 10 rookies that were going to play, forced to play really. And then, you know, new wide receiver core. What was that like? You know, you feel like
I actually
you guys use that as fuel?
Yeah, you know, I actually got an interesting side note on that. I think I was the one guy who might have thought that, you know, aside from maybe the coaches too, with the plan that they had going forward, to where I was like, Tyreek Hill is a special talent. I mean, he's a one of a kind. There's no replacing the Tyreek Hill, but I kind of went through it when I was with Houston. When we traded away DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was that was kind of like, for Houston, that was our Tyreek Hill. Like, man, what's going to happen next? And then the next year, Deshaun Watson actually had his best year at quarterback, spreading the ball around because he didn't have to force feed one guy. And then you heard Pat say the same thing. It's like, you know, he had the comment about the fantasy team guys. Like, you know, he might not want to pick him because the ball's going to get spread around. Nobody's getting force fed. And it just happened exactly like that. You know, like, it's hard to just go and try and double team one person now because anybody at any point in time is ready to get the ball. Nobody's just running the route knowing that they're not getting the ball. It's like, hey, if you're open, you're going to get the ball.
Yeah.
What's the winning atmosphere like in the locker room? Really coming from, like you said, it felt different in Houston because it's like, you know, you winning 1 or 2 games here and there. What was like the first noticeable difference between like just being in the building from Houston?
Oh man, you just have fun, man. It's like we're all a bunch of guys in there just having fun. Like it's basically like college.
Yeah,
we hang out all the time. Like you go back to Houston, like anytime you start a season, you start going 0-2, 0-3, then everything in the whole organization tightens up. There isn't really a whole lot of fun. It gets really down to business. If you're not taking things serious and they start to see you as a problem or a cancer or that you just don't want to win. But here, I mean, playing basketball games in the locker room, you know what I mean?
Wow.
We're playing like then Friday morning, you got the quarterbacks, they're playing soccer on the field. Like everyone's just having a blast, bro. And it's like we're committed and we know what's at stake and we have a standard that we play to. But in the meantime, we're just honestly having fun the whole time, man. It's like you honestly want to go do that for free.
Yeah.
And then get the pay on top of it. You can't beat it.
Definitely.
And especially during the parade, you could definitely see the brotherhood, like y'all celebrating together up on stage, having a good time. I know there's some people that give flashback for you guys, like drinking and all that partying. What is your take on that and like enjoying yourself during the parade?
Oh, you got to. Like I understand, you know, where some parents might be coming from, you know, with the drinking or whatever, but it's like you're going to I'm from Louisiana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I grew up going to Mardi Gras every year.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna go to Mardi Gras, you're gonna expect people to drink and have fun. You know what I mean? This is the ultimate goal. This is the ultimate achievement for football fans, football players across the world. You know what I mean? We do everything, the off season, the training, the injuries, battling through pain to get to that moment. And, it's a moment for the city, but it's also a moment for us. It's a moment for us to go and celebrate it. So we're going to have fun, man. So I get where people are coming from with it, but at the same time, you got to just let us have that. You got to let us have that. Let us have fun. Let us turn up with each other, create those memories because, Super Bowls is one of the hardest things in the world to achieve.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And it's not guaranteed to ever do it. We've been lucky to have, 2 now in the last 5 years? Yeah. And I expect us to go and win another one next year. But with that being said, nothing is ever guaranteed. So you got to enjoy the moments when they're there for you.
And you mentioned being in the Super Bowl. You did some stuff for your foundation while you were during Super Bowl week, man. Talk about that. The Blue Now with DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah. So me and D Hop have a relationship going back to our days in Houston. So got to partner with him and his mom, Sabrina Green Lee. And her foundation focuses on women of domestic violence. So we got to partner with them at Blue Nile in Arizona. Had a couple celebrities come through. Von Miller came through. And part of the proceeds of all the sales that happened over there at the jewelry shop ended up being split between my foundation, J. Reid Indeed, and DeAndre and his mom's foundation. Nice. So that was huge for us. For those who don't know, my foundation name is J. Reid Indeed. It focuses on 3 branches. One is tech education. The other is nutrition. And the last is athletics, being having an active lifestyle for our youth. And the reason I picked those 3 is coming from Louisiana, we didn't exactly have the greatest education system. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like when I went to Stanford, and it was mandatory that we had to take a coding class. Ooh. The first time I sat in class, I was like, man, what the hell is this? Like, I don't even know how to type. You know what I mean? Like, you got me taking the coding class. But once I actually got into it, I found out that I actually not only had a knack for it, but I actually liked it. Yeah. You know what I mean? The only reason I knew that was because I was exposed to it. So I just want to pay that forward. Get kids' feet wet with it. The foundation is built for when kids take the program, it's going to be easy. It's built for success. So that way, if they ever want to take it later, that doesn't seem so intimidating. It's like I did this before and I was successful at it.
And one of the other events you did was you had like 25 kids. You did.
We partnered with a school in Phoenix, had 25 kids come through as our second annual Coding for the Culture competition. They had to create beats for like a Super Bowl intro beat for the Kansas City Chiefs. And the 3 grand, everybody was a winner. Everybody walked away with something, but we also had 3 grand champions walk away with something special that really created something cool.
Nice.
Now, you grew up playing soccer, which this stood out to me because I played soccer and basketball growing up. And I got a little bit of flack throughout it for playing 2 sports. Everybody wants you to pick one. So for you, how important is it for you to be versatile, play other sports, and for kids growing up to know that they don't have to just pick one?
Yeah, huge. I mean, one of the things my parents always let me do is they let us play everything. They encourage us to play everything. And I think that's huge for holistic development. Definitely. So you don't just dive in just one thing, but you're developing different parts, different skill sets of your body. And it all comes together for whatever sport you might choose later on. I can look at guys and tell who played soccer. Playing football, I can look at football players and tell by the footwork who played soccer before. And you never know, man. You might get thrown in there and have to kick an extra point or 2, so it might come in handy.
What position did you play growing up?
I was a striker when I was younger. And then as I got a little bit older, around late middle school, early high school, I switched to attacking mid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Striker, you had to be fast.
Oh, yeah.
Center or outside? Center or outside striker?
So we played 2.
Okay.
We played a 2-strike, 2-forward system. So I was usually right or left, we'd switch sometimes.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And you mentioned Louisiana. Did you get some king cake this week?
I'm waiting on my mom to send that up, man. I'm waiting on my mom to send it. She's usually really good about it. It's going to show up when I least expect it. Yeah. We got to get the strawberry cream cheese filling.
I haven't had that.
Strawberry cream cheese filling. It's dangerous now. You might, you might not go back to whatever you had before.
Where do I go in Baton Rouge to get that? Is it somewhere off airline? Where is this at?
So there's a spot called Russo's in Prairieville. That's where we go to. It's just close by. But there's a couple infamous spots in New Orleans too. One slipping the name of my tip of my tongue right now. But if you happen to be in the Baton Rouge area, I just slip on over to Russo's.
Yeah, I went to school in at Southern for a little bit, so I'm a
okay. You familiar? Yeah, you know the territory.
But my family's from New Orleans, so that is definitely familiar. When's the last time you had some crawfish?
It's been a minute.
Oh man,
it's been a hot minute. Actually, the last time I had it, I was in college, and the fellow that runs like some of the dormitories, actually went to school with my dad at LSU.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then like we had an end of the year event, and she had me boil some crawfish for the dormitory.
So your swamp water's elite, huh?
Hey man, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. I get behind there, you know. Save the last batch for last. You know, that's the chef's batch. Always chef's batch.
So the next cookout, we there.
Yeah.
Pull up. That's how it's supposed to be, man. Everybody come, bring your neighbors, bring people you never met before.
Yeah.
Let's all get together.
And you mentioned Louisiana, and I want to ask you about, go back to your foundation. Like, who did you look up to that, was like, all right, I want to, develop this foundation to get back?
You know what? A lot of it had to do. I had a lot of good role models around me, man. I was extremely lucky. My dad was awesome, man. I have 3 brothers, and we all had different athletic events going on all over the place. And
Of course.
him and my mom found a way to make all of them. You know what I
Really?
mean? Whether they had to split up and go different directions to make each one ourselves. No matter what we're doing, we had at least one parent there for all of it. And, looking back on it now, it's like, that was a lot. That was a lot to have on their plate. So look up to my parents for sure. Good role model, my older brother. And also I had great coaches. I had Coach Brown when I was going through high school. Coach Davis when I was going through middle school. And it's like, they always set me on the right track and put me in the right direction. And the thing that I was good at was I paid attention. I took good advice. It's like, if I trusted the messages that they had for me. And, I want to pay that forward to them by being that guy for the next kid.
Yeah, you went to Stanford to study engineering, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you weren't playing football, what would you be doing? Something in the engineering field?
Yeah. So one of the things that I was good at when I got into coding was taking historical data and building a prediction model off of it. So it's like, let's use weather, for example. It's like you could take the last 5 years of weather on February 26th. You know what I mean? It's like, and that trend, you can use it to predict what February 26th of next year and the year after that is going to be. Wow. Closer it is to today's date is going to be more accurate than it is farther down the line, but you can forecast it out.
Shoot, not with Kansas City weather lately. Damn.
Hey, honestly, I don't feel bad for the weather guys here in Kansas City because 3 days ago it was really nice outside.
True.
You know what I mean? Now it's cold, brick outside.
Yeah. Now you touched a little bit on having 3 brothers, and talk about that dynamic. Like, all playing sports, were you guys competitive against each other? Did they push you? How did that go?
Oh, absolutely. I got my ass kicked almost every day. But I played with them but it made me better for it. Like I always hung around and played with them. I played up a little bit in age, so forced me to develop a little bit quicker. I couldn't always quite win by muscling, through them. So I had to try and be strategic and be a little bit more tactical with things. So we were always outside, man. And when we played video games sometimes too, we were always outside. We had a couple guys down the street, Scott, Cedric, and Cedric was my age. Scott was my older brother Eric's age, and we'd always run 2-on-2 basketball. I would play with Scott. Cedric would play with my brother. And we were just always competitive.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got good at something, they didn't want to play me no more.
It always happens like that, man.
So it was a lot of fights over the controller for the game.
We had a good rotation going with it. We had a good rotation.
Okay. So are you a gamer?
You know what? I used to be. I don't really game anymore.
Really?
I do play like games like Connect 4 and chess.
Okay.
And pool or pop a shot, games like that. But I don't really play video games a whole lot anymore.
Yeah. So your competitiveness is always on.
Always.
Is that what it is?
Always. Hey, if you want the smoke, just let me know.
Right. We can go with Connect 4. We could go 1-for-1 and Connect 4.
You don't want
ready.
that. I'm telling you, I'm undefeatable at Connect 4.
All right, bet. We'll see after the show.
Man.
Hey, we're gonna have a report come out too to let you guys know how this Connect 4 game
is.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Old school board games too, man. How much time do you give yourself? Like after, so you had your Super Bowl, went out a little bit. Now, how much time do you give yourself to get back going?
Usually I stick around maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Around after that mark, I start to feel lazy and I want to just start moving around and doing something again. I always feel motivated to work towards something. So I'm sitting around too long. I just have an uneasy feeling.
Yeah. That's cool, man, because you see a lot of guys, like, I mean, even when their season finished, week 17, January, no playoffs, they don't get right back to it, and they just kind of sit around and then kind of ease into it, man. Is it tougher to do that?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's easier to, and of course you can't always be at 100, but you can bring it down to 60. But it's easier to keep maintaining than it is to completely stop and then try and start back up again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Any of my guys that did like cross country, long distance running, you take a break from it. It's hell that first 2 weeks getting back in the running.
Yes, sir.
But once you get your conditioning up, it's not that bad just to keep doing it, every other week.
And a lot of guys take it to Miami, Arizona, wherever it may be for your off-season training. So where do you take it? And then what's your focus during this off-season to get right?
Yeah, so normally I go to Phoenix. Phoenix is comfortable for me out there.
Good weather.
One of my big mentors too, Ryan Clark, his son plays for ASU. So when he first went out to ASU, we ended up making it a tradition. Me and a lot of other Louisiana guys that play in the league, Dante Jackson, Landon Collins, Mike Ford, about 13 of us. All of us somehow have some like Louisiana connection, but since his son went out there, we started going out there as like an annual DB retreat.
Oh, nice.
And we go out there maybe like 2 weeks before training camp. I'd also touch down there with my guy Will Sullivan. He's another DB coach that I work with. And just get to work out there. Mainly around this time of year, it's just staying in shape, working on the nicks and bruises. I've had a couple surgeries, so I try and keep that maintained. And as soon as we start getting closer to OTAs and training camp, then I'll start putting a little more football movements in it.
Yeah, let's talk about surgery a little bit, because you always see athletes, whether it's during the season, postseason, off season, whatever it is, going through surgery. When you after that procedure, how long does it take you to trust your body again?
It take a good 6 to 9, sometimes a year to play, to be confident in it. 2 years.
Really?
It take that whole first season you play with it, you're not gonna feel excited about it. It's gonna be the following season when you really start to have confidence. Yeah, I had 5 of them. And it's kind of
wow.
It's kind of been the same story with all of them. Like the next season is good enough to play with, but you're kind of scared of it a little bit timid. And then the following season, you feel a lot more comfortable with it.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's crazy you say that, because I asked Juan about that, because he went through the ACL tear. And he said, man, I didn't feel myself.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't go. He's like, I wanted to make that move, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like I was just almost right there. Is that same for you?
Yeah, it was the same thing. I mean, I had shoulder surgery, I had wrist surgery, I had 2 on my foot, and had 1 on my thumb, and all of them are on the same thing. Like you can play, but it's like in the back of your head, that ligament is a little bit exposed, and last thing you want to do is tear it again. So you want to trust it, but it's just like a mental block there and once you make it through a full season and you go through the off season again, you go, it's like, okay, I feel a little bit better about pushing it.
Okay. Yeah. Last question for you, man. We see guys basketball. We see guys, go out and play a little softball in the off season. What's your go-to? You hoop a little bit?
I hoop a little bit, but I'm not the greatest hooper, man. I'm like a classic. I'm like your classic football player. I'll play great defense. I play phenomenal defense. Great defense. I'm not the one to go and foul anybody either, right? You know what I mean? Now I'll post up in the paint, maybe make a jumper from outside, but that's not my bread and butter. But I play mainly just for fun. I do that. I actually do like pickleball a lot.
Really?
No, I just do different things. Golfing, I'll go play pickup soccer.
Oh, you golf?
Whatever. Yeah.
Pickup soccer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm half decent at it too.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I got a couple of spots, man. We
let me know.
definitely can go, man.
Let me know.
Then we can hit the pickup soccer too. And I like my chances in hooping and Connect Four. So.
Man, we appreciate you coming on the show with us today, man. Thank you for sure.
100%. Appreciate you guys. This is fun.
Thank you.
We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is the W Show 100.1 FM.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
FPS Security is here to secure Greater KC protection where you need them most. Social events, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, small businesses, and more. Call FPS Security at 816-379-3600 or visit fpssecuritykc.com. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Reliable, fast, and professional service. The Negro League Baseball Museum, proud sponsor of The W Show, is bringing the heat in February. Visit the NLBM for free admission during the month of February, courtesy of the Kansas City Royals and Royals Charities. While you are there, visit the NLBM store for all of your Negro Leagues baseball apparel. Visit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, located at 1616 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri, or NLBM.com.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC WeSpin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC WeSpin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
FPS Security is here to secure Greater KC protection where you need them most. Social events, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, small businesses, and more. Call FPS Security at 816-379-3600 or visit fpssecuritykc.com. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Reliable, fast, and professional service. The Negro League Baseball Museum, proud sponsor of The W Show, is bringing the heat in February. Visit the NLBM for free admission during the month of February, courtesy of the Kansas City Royals and Royals Charities. While you are there, visit the NLBM store for all of your Negro Leagues baseball apparel. Visit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, located at 1616 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri, or NLBM.com.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Now, the Athletics NBA insider Shams Charania reports the Phoenix Suns are keeping Ish Wainright around a bit longer. Steve, how do you feel about this one? I know this is friend of the show.
Friend of the show. That's family, man. I love it. I love it. Especially, it's been a tough year for the Wainright family. It's good to have some great news come out of that, man. And I'm happy for him because, you know, just the way he started going overseas, coming out of college overseas, and then made his way to the league, and with a good team too, because he's there, he's playing. You know, you got Chris Paul, you've got a bunch of other guys that he's running with, Devin Booker, yeah, for sure. And I think it's a good it's a good fit. And I read something, and of course we know it's just personality, but you know, it's infectious, right? Like as long as you're a great person, I think that it take you a long way.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, again, rest in peace to Coach Wainright. I know he's smiling down on this one right now. But yeah, I like the situation that he's in. You get a new deal. You have 2 snipers for shooters. I feel like he's got an easy job almost now.
Definitely exciting. And I, like you said, I know that the family's been through a lot, so it's really cool to see it go full circle this year, especially.
Yeah, if opportunity was a person, it'd be Ish, man. Like
definitely,
for sure,
definitely.
Now, Eric Bieniemy says LeSean McCoy is entitled to his own opinion. McCoy is definitely living up to his nickname Shady after his latest criticism.
That's funny.
Q, your thoughts on this one?
It's funny because we normally would take players' criticism of a coach like as 100% fact, and I think we're hearing from a lot of players that, you know, he might just have some kind of like angst. It's like a personal thing against it. But also, I mean, Shady left Philly under bad terms with Chip Kelly. So he's probably got a certain personality that coaches have to handle with care. But I mean, he's out of the league now. So
let's hear what Shady had to say.
Will Eric Bieniemy be exposed with the Commanders?
I hope he doesn't, but I think he will. What's his value? What makes him a good offensive coordinator? See, the problem is a lot of these people that go on social media, oh, he should be the guy for the job. They haven't played there. They're not in the locker room. I've been in the rooms where he's coaching, and he has nothing to do with the pass game at all, right? When the plays are designed, that's Andy Reid. When you talk about offensive coordinators, I can tell you what makes Brian Daboll with the Giants a very, very good coordinator. I can tell you what Andy Reid or Doug Peterson. But when I asked about Eric Bieniemy, what makes him good? When we watch the film or practices and we correct the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, he doesn't talk in there. Andy Reid talks in there. He may say things to the running back because he's an ex-running back coach. I get that. But he has no real responsibility. Now you go from the Chiefs, where you can hide behind Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. Hey, then you go to the Washington, where you got to call plays. You got to run the meetings. You got to run the installs. And last issue I have with him is what makes Andy Reid so great, not the play calls, which we see that, which, I mean, that's one of it. But the other thing is, like, adapting to the players. With Bieniemy, my first practice, I couldn't believe it. He dog coaching, he dog cussing the players. I'm like, and not just the regular players, Kelsey, you know, other players. So it's like, it's hard for me. I'm rooting for him because he's a black coach, and I love to see black coaches win. Also, he's a running back coach. Running back coaches don't never get a chance to be offensive coordinators. The last one was like Anthony Lynn. So I want that to do well for him. But if I got to do my job and be honest, my thing is just, where is the true value at?
Is it have anything to do with him being black, in your opinion? Obviously, you ain't Roger Goodell. You don't know him.
You know what? Absolutely not. But people want to win. The color thing, I get it. It should be more black coaches. I definitely believe that. But if you come up for the Chiefs, they want to win. It has nothing to do with the color barrier at all.
Now, Washington Commanders offensive coordinator and new assistant coach, EB, responded to Shady's comments. Let's hear what he had to say.
LeSean McCoy is a future Hall of Fame runner, okay? Everybody's entitled to their own position, to their own comments and how they feel. When it's all said and done with, I think that's all I have to say, because he's entitled to his own opinion. That's life, okay? You got good and you have bad, you know? It does not impact me in any way, because one thing that you learn when you're in this position, you have to learn to eliminate distractions, all right? My job is to focus on the now. Everything outside these walls has no impact on Eric Bieniemy moving forward.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Most definitely. You know what? It's crazy because I've had, you know, conversations with Shady, LeSean McCoy, just in the locker room. Good dude, but now I think he's taking this media thing trying to take it to the next level. and he's going about it the wrong way, especially when you're making comments about a coach who, and let's just call a spade. He benched you.
Yeah.
Right. He benched you because you carried the ball like a loaf of bread and you made some mistakes. You fumbled. And
he fumbled a couple of times
early
in the season.
and then not only that, but you weren't the same Shady that you were in Philly
and Buffalo. Yeah.
And Buffalo. Like, there's a reason that you weren't at any one of those places anymore and you were brought in from the Chiefs. And Andy Reid basically did you a favor.
Yeah.
You know, so with that being said, I just think, you know, there's some salt there.
It definitely, you could hear it.
Yeah. And so you can just take what he says kind of with a grain of salt, man. And then for him to say that it's not a black and white thing, like, come on, man. That doesn't even have anything to do with Eric Bieniemy. That's across the board.
Yeah.
Like, we can take Eric Bieniemy out of the equation. It's just the being a black head coach does not come often for guys as it does for, you know, white assistant coaches.
And I like how tastefully EB still responded and even addressing the whole distractions thing, because even through his whole hiring processes and trying to get other jobs everywhere else, it's always been brought up, like something about his character, something about how he can interview. Like, even then it's always distraction, but the man still wins. So it's like he's proven that he can tune out these distractions. He's proven that he is coming out on top on the other side of these adversity situations, and he still is responding tastefully even then. Like, as much as he could be like, put some respect on my name, as he should, he still isn't. And so that's why it's like, for his response and his actions, it's like, it's going to speak for themselves. I didn't necessarily like it. Shady's comments didn't really sell me enough, I guess.
Yeah.
And if I can read through the lines, he had some stuff that he wanted to say.
Yeah.
But
he had some things on his chest.
He's got the head coach thing lingering over his head, so he's got to be PC right now.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, Eagles receiver A.J. Brown caused a minor stir. I guess he's not really being PC by wearing a Royals cap on a podcast. Let's hear from A.J. Brown first.
Listen, I love Philly. And what I'm about to say. You do not pay this man. Just ship me off wherever he finna go.
It's over. Wherever he finna go.
I'm telling you.
Package deal me with him.
Listen, so you talk about pressure, how we get it done.
And AJ Brown was talking about Eagles quarterback needing to get a new deal. Like, his rookie deal is coming up. And so he's like, hey, if y'all not gonna put him in the same situation that we see other guys in the league.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson situation. You're not gonna put my quarterback in that. The reason I came here is because of him.
Yeah.
So he's talking to the GM, hey, make a package deal, because I'm only here for one more year too. So hey, if you can't make it work, then ship us both off.
Yeah. And I like that. But the hat situation, we already know he wore that because it matched.
I don't think so, Q.
He tweeted it.
Yeah, I too
soon though.
Thank you.
I mean, that's the sports fan in y'all. That's I like, and I think I mentioned this when we were at the Super Bowl. Like, I like seeing football fans try to out football fan other football fans. So it's like, you can't wear anything with another city's logo or any name on it, or you're a traitor or something like that. And it's like, yeah, you can. And that's what he did. He wore a blue hat to match the fit. And we've seen the Royals hat before. We've seen Jeezy wear the Royals hat and not know that it's a Royals hat. And he probably knew it was a Royals hat, but just not even putting that together. Like, we've seen the Royals hat on a lot of different celebrities, and they probably couldn't name one player on the Royals. Like, the Royals is not a team that somebody's grabbing this and it's like, oh, this is my favorite team.
But that's fair. But at what point does your competitiveness come out? Like, for me, if I just 2 weeks ago,
let him know, Jazz,
lost to this team, man,
hold up.
I'm gonna keep it PC.
He lost to the baseball team.
But the Kansas
like, you lose
City
to you lose.
I don't want to see Kansas City. I don't want to see Kansas City anything. Don't play Tech 9 on the radio. I don't want to listen or see blue, red, whatever colors. Like, it's too early. I would still feel some type of way and be like, dude, get this out my face right now.
That just shows how much these athletes don't care when they leave the field.
That's the problem.
What you mean that's the problem?
that is a problem. Not that's the problem.
How is it a
That is
problem?
Because it's like, man, you just lost. You didn't lose just a regular game. You lost the Super Bowl.
Okay.
To a team that y'all thought we're gonna, and I'm saying y'all because you're an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
And of course you're gonna take up for them, but that's neither here nor there.
No, I know the hat community. Like
Okay, yeah,
I've been around people in the hat community my whole life, and nobody I know cares about the
I
team.
wish we would have asked Justin about this too, because you don't go and wear. I don't care if it's a Kansas City Monarchs hat, if it's a Sporting KC hat. You don't go and wear a hat of the city, no matter what team it is, that represents the city that you just lost to. You just don't do it.
People that wear hats regularly don't care.
And I can see if it's next season, yeah, whatever. But no, y'all got
it's a
you gotta
style.
You gotta hold a grudge
thing.
now, Q.
No.
Yes.
Why? Eric Bieniemy, you need to listen to Eric Bieniemy again. Listen to him again and take notes, and then use that as a life lesson. Like write it down and then put it in your left pocket.
So there were people at Radio Row, players that won't come and talk to us because we had a Kansas City Chiefs helmet sitting on the table.
That's them. They aren't of the hat community though.
Jamar Chase had on a hat.
That don't make him a part of the hat community.
He's a part of the hat community.
I wear hats here and there, but that doesn't matter.
You think Joe Burrow's gonna go throwing a Royals hat?
I don't know Joe Burrow. I don't know how he feels.
Q's dancing around.
No, I'm not dancing around it. Like he said it on Twitter. He was like, "Nah, the hat matched the fit."
Nah, man, he didn't have nothing blue on. He had a white and something. Man, I don't.
All right, look at you.
Eagles fans, real Eagles fans, have a right to be upset.
That's fine. You could call them real Eagles fans.
Yeah, real Eagles fans. All right.
So when do you give out this certificate of authentication?
What real recognize real?
Now this one must be a real one. Jayson Tatum scores all-star record 55 points, wins game MVP. Steve, we'll start with you on this one.
I think Jayson Tatum is, I would say, one of the top 3 players in the NBA right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think so. I think
over Bron, Giannis, and KD.
I would say, and in no particular order, I would say Bron, KD, and then there's Jayson Tatum.
Over Giannis?
Over
Okay.
Giannis, yeah.
I think I like that.
I think Jayson Tatum does a lot as far as his ability to score the ball, his ability to play defense, and to run his team. Like, he record 55 points, and he talked about watching Kobe growing up, and trying to basically channeling his inner Kobe.
That's where it is. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
It has nothing to do with that. I'm just talking about from pure,
definitely,
like from pure ability and just how good he is, man. He's the real deal.
No, definitely. I don't know if I'm putting him in top 3.
Oh, not top 3. Okay.
Maybe the 7 to 10 range.
Yeah.
But I mean, even still, that's a compliment in today's league. You look at the different athletes around the league. It's hard to really put that 1 through 10 together because it's like, dang, like even Jokic, like some people would say Jokic, some would say Luka.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like Tatum as a player. On both ends of the floor too.
And I wish he would have been able to win the ship last year. They just ran out of gas.
Yeah,
they really did. And I think that's what separates the men from the boys.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Where you running out of gas, but you still push through. But yeah, I think he's gonna get one of these next couple years.
Now, he definitely set the record for most points in the All-Star game, but how much do you guys think that really speaks? Like, we obviously saw like the Pro Bowl, then how serious do you really take that stat?
I mean, that's a huge stat because I mean, you look at the Jordans, the KDs, the Brons that have been in the All-Star game, and 55 points is a lot of points in an All-Star game. Like I need to look at his numbers. What is it? 22 of 31 from the field.
Yep.
I mean, and he
scored 27 in the third quarter.
10 for 18 from 3 too.
Yeah, and I mean just being a sniper from the floor
To
like
get the
that.
ball that much in the All-Star game, though. But the thing,
You're gonna get it that much in a game, but again, like making the shots in a
some people try to be too nice in All-Star games.
That's
too.
what I'm thinking.
No,
Like,
and-
what was the defense looking like for 55 points? Like, yes, okay, it's an all-star game, but come on now.
No, but I mean you got to make the shots, and I mean 10 of 18, like that's not bad. I mean that's 30 points there already. So
yeah, I think being able to do it in front of your peers, because sometimes you can score 55 or and Donovan Mitchell, he's 70, right? Like you can score that amount of points. Not everybody's going to see it. Not everybody's going to see the workload that you put in because they're either on an off night, they're playing their own game or whatever. So to be able to do it in front of your peers on the world stage, it's dope.
Definitely. And we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll dive into our Hate It or Love It segment. Keep it locked in. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook
Are you
Live.
not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at KCWeSpin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
FPS Security is here to secure greater KC protection where you need them most. Social events, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, small businesses, and more. Call FPS Security at 816-379-3600 or visit fpssecuritykc.com. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Reliable, fast, and professional service. The Negro League Baseball Museum, proud sponsor of The W Show, is bringing the heat in February. Visit the NLBM for free admission during the month of February, courtesy of the Kansas City Royals and Royals Charities. While you are there, visit the NLBM store for all of your Negro Leagues baseball apparel. Visit the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, located at 1616 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri, or NLBM.com.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it. Message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic you want.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off our sneakers of the week, we got the Air Jordan 6 Cool Grays.
Fire.
And yeah, I like these.
Fire. I didn't like when I first saw these, I'm like, but then they kind of like grew on me a little bit. And now it's like they're cool. They're pretty dope.
Yeah, I like these.
I dig them. The Adidas Pat Mahomes Impact Fix.
Oh my goodness.
And I didn't even know these was Pats until you said it.
Oh my goodness. Come on.
I will say that I wore the ones we got Like this week for
How'd they
my
feel?
workout,
How'd they feel?
trash.
Oh my goodness.
See?
They felt like I had 20-pound weights on my feet. They were super heavy for working out. Now, would I wear them maybe just casual? Maybe. But working out was not a good training.
Never thought I'd see today, Jazz. Never thought I'd see today.
Steve never wants to listen to me.
Welcome to my TED Talk. I'm sorry.
I like those colorways though. That blue is y'all can't even say that the blue is not dope.
It Walmart vibes.
Yeah, no. Kind of girly too. If you were rocking those.
Hater.
Definitely
Hater.
Walmart
Pass.
vibes.
All right, hater.
My personal favorites this week: the Nike
Thanks, Mark.
SB Dunk Low Adobes.
These are kind of fire. I like these.
These are cool.
With the gun bottom.
Yeah.
Heavy skater vibes.
Yeah, I like them.
You can wear these pair of cargos in the summer.
White tee.
Yeah.
Yep. Women's Nike Dunk Low Just Do It Team Reds.
I like these. Yeah. I like that burgundy.
They have like a little gold something on the string.
Is that like an off-white bottom? I like that.
I think so.
Creamish. Yeah.
Sixes win for the week though.
Which ones?
The Sixes.
Okay.
Cool gray. Yeah.
I like the Adobe's. I think that's my winner this week. Steve?
I like the cool grays. That would be my go-to.
Fair enough.
But only problem is when you get the sixes, you have the little bit of translucent bottom that's right around on the sole and then the heel of your foot, and that starts to turn. And once that turns, it's a wrap for the shoes. It's like they're done.
Plus the suede, that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Nah. Now, Kyrie Irving goes to extreme lengths to cover up Nike swoosh on his sneakers at the All-Star game 2 months after he was dumped by the sports giant and anti-Semitism controversy. Hate it or love it?
I love it. I love putting the tassels over that. That was funny.
Steve, your thoughts?
I just think Kyrie, man, he's kind of stuck in a hard place right now because he had his deal, right, like with Nike, and he's trying to figure out like what's his next move going to be. So he's not going to wear anyone else's shoes. Of course not. That's just not how he rolls. So he's still going to rock his, but he's just going to try to make them look cool to him and do little weird stuff to him. So I don't know. I think it may.
No, I like it. I like that. That's funny. Gives indigenous vibes.
It was creative for sure. I'll give him a 10 out of 10 for creativity, but it kind of gives like art class vibes, when they're like, go ahead and customize your own shoes.
No, yeah, it looks like some moccasins.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know. You think tassels got annoying during the game? Flapping around and everything.
And he had beads on those. What the beads comes off during the game?
No, I think that kind of helps hold it down, and then it's probably like some like cool leather, so it's not really as pliable like that. But yeah,
true. Now the XFL league has tiered extra points new rule. Hate it or love it?
I like the fact that they're trying new things. The Rock, trying to push this game forward. Right, like with the XFL. I mean, we've seen different football leagues like crash and burn.
Yeah,
and so this is just something. And to me, I think not even knowing The Rock personally, but I just feel like he's not going to attach himself to something that would flop.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I like the 3-point extra try. Like that's really hard, especially
what are the rules?
The 10-yard line, but it's the 1 point extra point from the 2-yard line, 2 points from the 5, and then 3 points from the 10-yard line. I like that.
But kicking is not an option for any of the extra points. So
cool. You don't need kickers. You don't need kickers.
Dang, no. Just leave out our kickers.
I mean, if that's the direction they're going.
But you know what? I think that's going to be. Don't quote me on this, but I think that's going to be the direction that the NFL goes.
I don't.
I'm talking not kicking extra points, but I'm talking like kickoffs. I think they're going to do away with the kickoffs. Look at the Super Bowl.
Well, I like how the XFL's kickoff is too. Because it's like all of the players line up on the other side of the 50, and then it's I think the kickoff team is on the 40, and then the receiving team is on the 30,
Hmm.
And then the one player is in the back, so they kick it to him, and then as soon as it goes over their head, then they come together. But it's like it looks cool, and it doesn't take away any advantage or anything. So it's still like, you got to block, you got to put a hat on the hat.
Yeah.
It looks cool and a lot less dangerous.
Yeah.
So
I just think that the NFL is going to go to everybody just start under 20 and then let it rip.
No, because you still need a kickoff for that margin of error. Whether it's a kickoff return, whether it's a fumble,
Kick it out of bounds,
is some kind of like momentum shift, and you still need that margin of error.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting. Former KU Jayhawk Joel Embiid reveals player who made him nearly quit basketball. Hate it or love it.
I don't even know why he said this. Like, come on, Joel. That's Broderick's homie and yours.
And he said he almost made him quit basketball. What did he do?
He said that his very first scrimmage at Kansas, he got dunked on so hard by Tariq Black that I almost quit. He dunked on me so hard that I was looking at plane tickets home.
Oh yeah, Tariq Black, because that was a big dude. Yeah, okay. Now that you say his name, I mean, he's probably being funny.
Yeah,
I get it.
I still pridefulness. I don't think I would have thrown that out there.
Yeah, he was being serious. Like, that was the article in the Players Tribune. Like, I think he was just being. I mean, that's like a, because people have like, so you get guys that go to high school, right? You start your first game on varsity. You get your welcome to high school moment.
Yeah.
Then it's welcome to college moment. Like, that was his welcome to college.
Shoot, that's a tough one.
Getting dunked on like that takes all. You ever been dunked on before?
No. I mean, why would I?
I don't think I have.
Look, I remember I got dunked. I'll be honest, I got dunked on before.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
But I was a freshman and it was a senior. Like, it just happened.
No, yeah, it happens. Now in football, I've been blindsided, and that wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Talk about wanting to quit.
Checking the plane tickets home, huh?
Yeah,
keep your head on the swivel, my man.
I needed that swivel that day.
Sabrina's WNBA rookie card sells for record price. Hate it or love it.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, just for the women's game to have, this type of media behind it. I mean, somebody's collecting these cards, so I like it. It's starting to push the game forward.
Definitely.
I like it too. You mentioned pushing the game forward. This is for the first time, it's, what was it? The price was $10,800 at an auction. The most expensive WNBA card ever.
Look,
that's crazy.
Brittany Griner might break that soon.
You think so?
Yeah.
True.
I mean, but she'd have to come back and like actually ball.
Yeah.
I think regardless, if she makes a comeback, I would still want her card.
Yeah. And then if the coach from Texas, Sydney Carter, if they make a card of hers, I'm probably playing.
Oh my goodness. Now we're going somewhere. Okay.
So what's y'all's cap? Because like $10,800 on a card. What would be your cap that you would spend on a card?
I mean, it depends on the value of a card. As a kid, I used to collect cards. I still have some cards laying around. I don't know what they're worth. Definitely got some Upper Deck ones too. That's good. But I don't know if I'm spending that kind of money on it. But again, if the value can go up on it,
true.
That's a solid investment.
I'm gonna tell you whose card. I'm not going to tell y'all whose card I'm gonna get. That's gonna be worth something. But
you're probably gonna say Patrick Mahomes, and that's fine.
No, not even Patrick. Not even Patrick. It just depends on who it is.
Yeah.
Like if it was, so I really wanted a Kobe card, like, but I never got one. Wanted to get one signed. But it just depends on who it is. Like, cause I mean, if you're gonna spend that much on a card, I want it to be at least come back to where I can make my money back plus some. Like, I'm looking to sell it. I'm not gonna just hang on to it. Like, I have a Shaq rookie right now. I think when I got it out of the package, it was like a $3 pack. It was worth $25, and this was this was $95.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't even know what it's worth now.
Yeah, I think I stopped collecting around like 95, 96. So I don't know what any of those cards are worth now, but I need to look into it.
And I definitely love this just for the women's game, like you guys said. I mean, when you talk cards, it's a lot of baseball cards. You don't really hear about people investing in cards and money like that into women's sports. And I feel like this was definitely huge to see somebody willing to put that much money forth and that much support towards women's sports.
No, definitely. Because I mean, I don't know how many better players there are, but I feel like there'd be a lot more marketable players that are probably going to knock that 10 grand out the water.
I wonder what Diana Taurasi's card is worth, like her rookie card. Like, what is that worth? Because I mean, she's one of the best players ever.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got a lot of them.
Like I'm thinking Paige Bucher's card is gonna go crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, because I was gonna say, I know you got like the Cheryl Swoops, the Lisa Leslie's, I don't know, but I would figure there'd be a lot more cooler players like Skylar Diggins.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that realm. But I don't know if she's winning now, but yeah, I think somebody's going to end up blowing this out the water. But this is definitely a good start.
Definitely. I think I would definitely be in the market for a Brittany Griner card.
Definitely.
Definitely.
There's probably one floating around, a few floating around out there.
Gotta be. Eagles fan has hilarious fix for premature Super Bowl champions tattoo. Hate it or love it.
I love it.
No, I love it because it's stupid people in the world. And that was the dumb move.
To even get it in the first place. Like, come on.
Man. Yeah, no, that's crazy. You're reaching. It's football fans trying to out football fan other football fans. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think he got the crying Jordan. He got the crying Jordan face. Like
that's so trash. Like, why would you want that?
Some people just troll. Like, they do it like, oh, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna make this go viral. I wanted a Super Bowl thing anyway, a Super Bowl tattoo anyway. So why not just, yeah.
And I guess for me, like, I just can't help but think in like the dating world, if I was seeing a man and that's the tattoo I saw on your arm, I'm probably instantly
that's definitely a red flag.
Red flag.
Yeah, definitely.
That's red flag.
I'm good, man. This might be our first and our last.
Yeah, that's a carnival of red flags.
Roller coaster park, man.
We appreciate everyone who tuned in to watch today's show, 100.1 FM. Thank you to Justin Reid for hanging out with us today. We'll have more guests, next few weeks as well. Until next week, we are out of here.
Peace.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.